How's it going, guys? Bring a Platoon here, and welcome back to another great set of games in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition post-update 6.0. There's going to be two games of me playing the premium Tier 8 American tank destroyer, the Bone Shaker TS-5. It's one of the Hot Wheels tanks that they released for the, Hot Wheels season as a reward for buying the season pass that cost around 11,000 gold or something like that. Yeah, not worth it. This tank sucks ass. Despite having more DPM than the T-28, I'm just going to use that as a comparison. So, I'm going to go down all the stats of the TS-5 and then tell you about the T-28 and why the T-28 is better. On the TS-5, you get a 120mm gun, the same as on the T-28. You get 248 pen with your AP rounds and 300mm of penetration with your premium heat rounds, as well as 60mm of pen for your high explosive rounds. Your high explosive rounds get 515 damage on average per pen instead of 400 alpha for the other two shells. You probably know that already if you already played the T-28, but if you didn't, there's the info for you. Dispersion values. TS-5, terrible, 0.44 dispersion at 100 meters. T-28, 0.38 dispersion at 100 meters away. Aim time, 2.10 for the T-28. For the TS-5, a little bit better, 1.8. If it wasn't so goddamn inaccurate, I would prefer the TS-5 because it also has more DPM than the T-28. T-28's got 2750 DPM. TS-5, 2950 DPM. Almost 3000 base. This is, again, on tanks.gg. It's where I get all my stats. Sorry if the stats differ from console ever so slightly. TS-5 gets a top speed of 26 kilometers an hour. The T-28 gets a top speed of 22 kilometers an hour. Both of them have 5 degrees of gun depression, and that is ass. But the T-28 is lower to the ground, and so it hides more of the tank. And you get around 254 millimeters of armor in your front, and you get around like 240 millimeters of protection in your lower plate. TS-5 gets around 280 to 290, I would say, protection in the front, and your lower plate in the TS-5 is more armored as well, or around the same amount of armor as the T-28 in the lower plate. However, if you angle, that's difficult. Never mind. I won't talk about protection, or how you can protect yourself in both tanks, because one of them equalizes the armor, and the other, well, just gives them a free shot into your roof. If you angle the T-28 downwards, you're equalizing your armor for your upper plate, but you're also giving them for a free shot into your roof for the T-28. TS-5, it's very easy to make your lower plate an auto bounce to people, but then you're, again, equalizing your roof. Oh, I guess they both have the same weakness. Never mind. Both their roofs are the same, 38.1 millimeters, so if it already hits you, it's going to hurt like hell. Your hatches are also around the same amount of weakness to each other. Yeah, very comparable to each other in armor protection, like 155, yeah, around there for both tanks. Although the only difference is the T-28 gets 2 of them to shoot at, while the TS-5 gets only 1 of them as a weak point. Stats. Go back to stats. Gun elevation for the TS-5 is 20 degrees. Same thing for the T-28. Gun depression 5 degrees. We already went over that. 370 for the view range on the TS-5. Same thing for the T-28. 1500 health for both tanks. And I don't know. The traverse is terrible. What's the effective traverse on the T-28? 27, 21, 10, 20. Okay, it is lowers. So we're going hard traverse, medium traverse, soft traverse. For the T-28, it's 27 degrees a second, 21.5 degrees a second, and then 10 degrees a second on soft. Okay. TS-5. Hard, medium, soft once again, 24 degrees a second, 19 degrees a second, and 9 degrees a second. That's not great. Both of them have a 20% fire chance, so 1 in 5 shells hitting your engine will set your ass on fire. Very crazy? Not really. They're American tanks. That's to be expected. How do I use this thing? Oh, right. I was comparing them both to each other. So why would I prefer the T-28? Well, it has a little bit less pen, or a little bit less DPM, I should say. More accurate gun. You don't need to beef up the gun nearly as much. And yes, it also has a slightly longer aim time. But I also feel like, again, a lot more shots go where you need them to. And it just... I don't know. They both have the same gun arc as well. Minus 10 degrees, plus 10 degrees. Except, for some reason, on the T-28, you get a slightly more gun arc on the T-28's right side, so that's really strange. Yeah, that's a little weird, but yeah, that's about it. That's all the differences between the two tanks. I don't know. I remember being the T-28 a better experience than this one, but I could be wrong. I could be remembering it all wrong, and maybe I'm just bitching because I had a bit of trouble 3-marking this thing recently, therefore it's more fresh in my mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm comparing apples and oranges. Who knows? That's just my feelings on the top, or on the two tanks themselves right now. What do I use on this thing? I use optics. You'll see at the end. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna go into it anyway. I use the commander perk. What is it? The decreased loading time by 10%. I also use the gun rammer, as well as optics and advanced concealment and the enhanced targeting system. I think I covered all the equipment slots there. Why do I use optics? Because, well, I like to outspot things, no problem. And why do I use advanced concealment? Because when you're in tier 10 battles, which you will be in this thing, does not have preferential matchmaking. Everything sucks. Because everything can pen you, and if they know where to shoot you, you're going to get penned pretty much every single time. You have to either chance being in the back, supporting your tanks, or your allies, hoping that the enemy push through and make your team melt so you can get more damage, or you have to play in the front with support, or as support, and pop out when the big scary tanks are done firing their guns so you can get 2 shots off in that time. But more often than not, they have other things camping in the back, and then you get nuked for like 700 health because reasons. Although, you know what? Everything I just said bad about the tank is negated by the fact that it makes money like a motherfucker. So, it's a good money maker. If you shoot heat 100% of the time during a game and you have a premium account, you'll still make money. Granted, it'll only be like 30, 50k, or 30 or 50k per game, assuming it's a decent game. But yeah, it's hilarious. It's like what is it? It's like Revelry levels of money making. It's hilarious. Although you don't need to shoot the heat all the time, and that's what makes this tank bearable. Is that 248 more often than not is good enough to go through your targets, except like super heavies like just off the top of my head, like the Mouse, Type 5 heavy, Type 4 heavy, pretty much anything super heavy, like VK70 01K, whatever the hell that kind of tank is, VKB 4502B, you know what I'm talking about. But this map, as well as the other one, has a very unorthodox play in it, because we've got quite a few snipers here on my team, and I'm noticing there's already been 2 heavies spotted at their base, sniping. So I'm like, okay, either I could go to support my allies up in, like, the A line, or I could go mid, where all of the heavies are sniping anyway, so I could spot for the snipers in my spawn and actually get some assisted targeting damage. That doesn't go as planned. The opposite actually happens. I spot barely any damage. Well, you'll see. You'll see in the game. But I think I call it right here in my own mind. I'm like, every time I go to A in the B lines, I get shafted because, I pop out to shoot like I'm supposed to with support, and then support fucking yeets their way backwards, and I'm stuck out in the open in front of 2 or 3 tanks. While I get nuked for all my health, and then they push up when I die. Happens all the time. Normally, this kind of play would be looked down upon. Why? Because I'm a turretless TD, I'm slow as shit, and every time I fire, I'm probably going to get detected by someone just chilling in the back. So that's fun. I get some free shot. Like, these light tanks, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their plan is, but I've got people on the sidelines ready to snipe things for me, and because of my decent armor, there's not really a damn thing they could do unless they should shot premium at me. But even then, I'm angled downwards to them, so they would probably have to hit my hatch to pen me at this point. But, like, what is this guy doing? What are these guys, plural, doing? Like, Jesus, my reload's a little slow. Oh, that was close. I was going to say, I thought I missed that shot, but I did not. Definitely punished him for that. But yeah, I'm just going to... Why am I going out while I'm detected? Don't do that. Don't do that, Justin. You know better. I just activate my consumable to try and outspot anything that happened to be out there, and it works. But this light tank, like, this is the most weirdest play I've ever seen on this map. And I've played this map at least 4 or 5 times a day. Did I play yet today? Did I get my daily battles in? I think I did. Why am I worried about daily battles? Because I want that free M60 tank at tier 10. Why? Because I want to 3-mark it. I've 3-marked the T95E6. I've 3-marked the M48A2 120mm. I've 3-marked the M48 patent in the standard tech tree. And is there another tier 10 American medium tank? No. I don't believe there is. But there will be, and it'll be the M60, and that thing has pretty much an auto bounce upper plate when you're using all the gun depression. So that is awesome. Can't wait. I don't know what this M103 is doing. What's even funnier is that he just keeps advancing like he's not getting shot at by me. Pretty funny. So I move up a little bit, use my view range and my concealment to my advantage. I'm going to shoot through this tree, and then I'm going to back up a little bit further, and then use this other tree directly in front of me to hide my shot. And I can do it. Because either he has a shitty crew, or I'm using concealment factors like a boss here. And without even knowing it. I nuke him for all of his health. Because he was an idiot. And now I'm up to 3,900 damage base with a little bit of spotting. Pretty funny. This is ironically the best game I've ever had with this tank. I don't know how much money I make, but I'm on my last AP round, so we'll see how much money I get by the end. It's so weird that the plays you have to make in the meta now end up being the ones that you would never think would work. Like, there's no reason why a non-turreted TD should be able to do this out in the open on this map and not get punished for it. And somehow, all the tanks that went over there, they're still over there. Why is it dead even? We should be walloping them on that side. They should be no longer in existence on that side. But why are they, in my opinion, still alive? Because there's bots, and there's terrible players. Why do they make up 90% of the player base now? Every game I'm in, 10 or more players do less than 800 damage. Like, why play at that point? What enjoyment do you derive from playing the way that you do? If you are the kind of player who plays like that and thinks, you know what, I still have fun. How? How? I can't fathom it. Also, this shit kind of freaked me out because, okay, so we've got one medium tank. Obviously, he could YOLO around me, and that could be a problem. But I have a awesome little convenient little hub here where I can turn around as fast as I need to. He's going to get a free pen into me. I'm going to activate my consumables to be able to turn a little faster. And I biffed the shot because RNG fucked me there. But miraculously, he's not going after me. He's going after my heavy tank behind me. I don't even know what that heavy tank is. I'm okay with being penned here. Yeah, cool beans. I get to shoot you twice for 800 damage. Well done. Good job, dude. And then I probably should have looked where that was going to go in, but it doesn't really matter. He gets killed by my sniping. Oh no, that was the heavy tank that was down there. The Object 705. Nice. Thanks, guy. Appreciate that. And then, what do we run into, you think, next? Where do you think the last tank is? I know the other tank isn't dead yet, but he will be soon. Where do you think the last tank is? Do you think he's up in the Artie Hill? Or do you think he's over in, like, G9? You're wrong. He's right there. Just waiting. Like, he doesn't even know I'm staring at him. But how is that fun? Again, what enjoyment do you get out of playing like this? It's ridiculous. You camp at base, and you can't even do anything against me. Like, well done. What was your plan, dude? Why are you still looking off in the other direction? What are you looking at? There's no tanks over there, dude. What? I don't understand. Was he looking at the other tank to my right? I don't think he was. He was looking in the G-line location. I make 150,000 there. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And I 3-mark it in another game, this tank. But again, that game wasn't nearly as good as these two, so I just decided not to show those instead of... Instead, I uploaded these two. So there it is. Awesome paint job. Love the paint job. I love how glossy blue it is. Very cool looking. And the purple. Oh, so sexy. But, yeah. Wouldn't enjoy anyone else do this. Or wouldn't recommend anyone else do this. Because... Or try and 3-mark the vehicle. You can if you want. By all means. Feel free. But it just wasn't enjoyable. It sucks when you face tier 10s, and I actually think I did this during the +1, -1 matchup event until the 23rd of March in 2021, which it still is, but I digress. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Please leave a comment and like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.